Before this episode starts, a reminder that round 3 of the world's first mixed gender fantasy competition, the Bundy Mixer, kicks off this Thursday when the Dragons take on the Roosters to open round 3 of the NRLW. Not only can you pick the best of the blokes, Bundy Mixer players get to pick the best of the absolute superstars in the NRLW to create the best mixed gender fantasy team. In the opening 2 rounds, Jess Surgis and Georgia Hale have been on fire, averaging over 65 points. Surgis is in fact averaging 86 points. Make sure you sign up using the link in the description and join All Out League using the code 72IRWB3A. Enjoy this week's podcast.
G'day All Out listeners, I'm Josh. Welcome back to this week's podcast.
Great to have you, Josh.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks for that insight.
Thanks, boys.
And the introduction. Macca, welcome back to the podcast as well to you, mate.
Thanks, boys. Good to be here.
You've had an interesting evening, mate. Stuck on the roadie road there.
Yeah,
The black stuff in your hand.
Yeah, the old car's just broken down in the worst possible spot, about 5 minutes away from the potty. Yeah, don't really want to talk about boys, actually. Let's move on, eh?
Yeah, let's go.
Well, let's move on straight, boys, to what the events that preceded last night. And I'm not sure if you blokes stayed up or not. I know I did. The cricket.
Disgraceful.
Terrible. And I'll put my 2 cents in first. Is it time for Cummins to go? Because tactically, it was fucking shit.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
Mate,
It's time to go.
we got robbed.
Robbed of what?
Yeah, we did get robbed, eh?
We did get robbed.
Mate, so
The only robbery...
They changed the 40 over ball with a brand new one. That was
Mate,
Hooper
they
more
may
than
as
it
well
has
have
the whole
given them a
season.
tennis ball covered in sparky tape.
England are the best at that. If the ball's not doing anything, they will sook every over and
Yeah.
see the ball change. It don't work because Joel Wilson's an idiot.
Uzi come out and said that's the hardest he's ever felt the ball hit the bat. Duckett bowling, not Duckett.
Duckett
Mark
bowling.
Wood bowling the whole
Yeah,
series.
Mark
It's the
bowling.
hardest
Mate,
the ball's ever hit the
If
bat.
you compare, there's a pro that compares 2 balls. One's shiny as all fuck and looks like a new ball, and the other's like rough.
We'll get a photo up.
We won't get a photo up.
Photo right here.
Um,
Also, like and subscribe.
I think there has to be a rule change somehow on the amount of times or a time period where they can use that utensil that they put the ball
diameter
through.
thing.
Yeah, so I reckon there should be a restriction. If you put the ball through it once, then you can't do it
Well,
again.
you
for
should have
another
to wait
time.
40
Whoever
overs.
picks the balls, obviously that day was just like, celeb.
It's Joel Wilson,
And just
mate.
chuck some new balls in
Well,
there.
they questioned him and he said it was the only ball in the box.
Yeah, rubbish. Yeah, you couldn't tell me
Mate,
that.
Brody's probably going, look, it's my last game. Like, just do me a solid, please. Just give me a different ball.
Yeah, well-
They're going, yeah, right, mate.
Well, regardless of the ball change, I think Australia still choked it there on the last day.
Yeah.
And full credit to England. They were the much better team throughout the whole series, I thought.
Yeah.
And
probably.
full credit and well played to Stuart Broad as well. He's definitely the villain of Australian cricket for some time now.
But I still think he has the respect of Australian
Yeah,
fans.
I think he does.
I
I
like
really
Broad.
think he does have
Yeah.
the respect of the
He
Australian
has
fans.
ticker.
Yeah.
Like,
He
it
does.
goes all day.
He does.
And I think it was a fitting ending. Like he hit his last ball for 6 and then got the last 2 wickets. And he'll go down as one of the most probably underrated fast bowlers of all time, probably. Stuart Broad.
Yeah.
Look, Nick Bowler doesn't agree.
Yeah.
Um,
How can you not agree? He's got
Fast bowling's
got 600
interesting
test
because do you value longevity or do you value how good someone was, like Glenn McGrath?
Well, I think, peak's obviously important, but also if you can bowl for that long, play that many games and still be good,
Mate,
it's a skill.
he took
Yeah.
like 20 wickets, didn't he? That series? 20
Yeah,
wickets.
it's good.
Mitch, I
he's
thought
one of
Mitch
the-
Stark was the leading wicket taker in the series.
Yeah, he got 23.
But
Chris
brilliant.
Wokes.
Yeah, Wokes has been great.
Wokes
Well,
was
They would have won the series if they had Ben Folkes, though.
Yes.
Stop
Yes.
doing
No, they would have won the series if Marky Wood played in the first 2 tests.
Mark Wood would have been injured
Instead
by the
of
4th
Ollie
test if he
Robinson.
played the first 2
Yeah,
tests.
look, we've been very lucky to retain the Ashes, so we need a wake-up call, I think.
And Warner's got to go.
Oh, you think Warner's got to go, mate?
Yep.
I think
Who replaced him?
Renshaw.
MPH? Renshaw?
Renshaw.
Mate,
What about
Rensh-
Marky Harris? He's young. Oh, wait. No, he's 30.
Yeah.
The only problem about replacing Warner with Renshaw is you take someone who is aggressive that can score 100 in one session to
and
Renshaw, who's
the
another
other thing
Kawaja.
that the argument that I will not listen to is the argument for keeping Warner in the team because he's a good slip. Shut up. That is an
No one
argument
said that,
I will
huh?
not hear.
Who's made that argument ever?
Someone has made that
I think it was
argument.
Mark
I've seen
Taylor,
it.
actually.
Why
Yeah.
can't we just go head or just put head to open and then keep Mitch Marsh and Green?
It's so valuable down the order.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Marsh plays that role down the
move
order.
Marnus up and pick like...
Mate, Marnus, the way Marnus was facing that new rock,
I would.
I would not put him there.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a great series all up, and I think it was very good for Test cricket.
And
the
also,
old
just to
Bazball.
clarify, I do have sources telling me that the English and Australian boys met up at a nightclub later on. There was not total refusal of drinks between the two countries.
Lovely. I wouldn't trust Ben Stokes'
It's
Joe Root and David Warner in that situation.
That's spiky drink.
I wouldn't trust your source either way, mate. But
I heard they shared a couple lemonades.
the NRL boys on the weekend. Some interesting results here heading into the last 4 rounds, is it, of the before the finals?
Yes.
And the big talking point here is the Knights. Flats and I backed them in to make the 8, and they 28-6 victory over the Raiders. I think that was the big talking point over the weekend, fellas. What do we think?
Yeah. Can Kalen Ponga win Dally M?
No.
Nah, he missed 2. Did he miss?
How many games missed?
He
Like
would
4
have missed
or more than that?
4 at the start.
Mate, his last 6 or 7 rounds have been.
Let's have a look. I
He's been great.
definitely think SJ is the man.
SJ's come probably ahead.
It's
But-
between
Everyone keeps
SJ and
everyone
Haas.
keeps saying Payne Haas. Why?
Because
He was leading it, and like if you
it's easy to give Payne Haas
Since Origin
points
since Origin has he been that good?
He's done his job.
He's been a bit
Mate,
injured
you
and
need
stuff.
you need to do more than your job to get. Then again, he's probably
How many games have we lost since Origin?
Yeah, that's
It's easy to
probably
give
why
Payne
it's-
Haas points
points
when the Broncos win. Because you see, 250 metres.
Yeah, so Ponga didn't play. Ponga played a fair lot of rounds. He missed round 3 to 7.
And he also wasn't good when he played at 5'8".
So
I think it's John Johnson still.
yeah, it's definitely SJ. I think Payne Haas will be up there. I'd love to see what Drinkwater and Walsh would be putting up as well.
Can Drinkwater get it?
No, he got suspended. So
If Walsh didn't get suspended as well, I think that's a contender.
the contender
But Walsh
there.
and Haas taken points away from each other.
Would it be-
SJ's sort of
Would
on
there
his
be any
own.
Penrith player close? Like
Dylan Edwards.
Dylan Edwards,
Yeah.
maybe.
But
That's
it's-
about it.
I think he fell off a bit as well.
Cleary.
Yeah.
Clear's missed so many games.
It's hard to win it. Like, obviously, tons of Origin
In a
players
stacked
have won
team.
it, but especially nowadays.
Well, the reason Cleary hasn't
with
won
resting
is
and
because
stuff like
when Penrith win, they like give points to like Fisher Harris and Isaiah and all those
Yeah.
players as well.
Yeah.
So.
An absolute statement win, boys, from the Broncos on Thursday night,
Overrated.
32-10. You think it's overrated, mate?
Nah, I just think they're not winning the competition. Let's
That's
leave it
a
at that.
bold
Let's move on.
take.
It's a bold take, but they were very impressive on the weekend, the Bronx, and they don't look like slowing down. To be honest, I think they'll make the final. I think it'll be a Penrith Broncos final.
I
Are
actually
you
predict
forgetting about a particular team?
Red V.
What?
Actually,
not the Red V, the Wars, mate.
Oh, the Wars. Yeah,
Show
look,
some respect.
I think the Wars.
We're
You're
all-
trying to win back to Wars fans.
Yeah, we're all big Wars fans in this
Please,
podcast.
please
Not one-
like and subscribe.
Please follow us back.
And I guess the other game that doesn't really have an effect on the Penrith Panthers, but the Sharkies 28-0. They're just going on a downhill spiral, boys. Do we see them
Just to
missing
clarify, the
eight?
Sharkies lost 28-0.
Yeah. So do we see them missing the 8 completely now?
Yes. I think
What's
they're
their run home looking like?
I think it's pretty tough.
It is tough. They
I'll get that up real quick.
They don't have a bye, so the Cowboys
that's
still have a
right.
bye, which is handy for them.
Rabbits have
But they
been...
got-
Sharks versus Rabbits next week.
They got the
this week.
Rabbits, and they got the Titans, and then they got the Cowboys. So it's no easy run there.
Well, judging off the Titans on Sunday against the Cows, I think they could lose against the Raiders. They could lose against the Knights, definitely. Cowboys, they can lose. Titans, they can lose. Rabbits, they'll lose.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think
Perhaps the reports about Nico Hines were maybe correct.
Yeah.
Maybe
What's,
true.
what's Manly's run home
I
looking
don't want
like?
to say the overrated word,
Roosters?
but I'm that close.
I think Manly.
Can we have a look at Manly?
Manly
Got,
come
who Manly
ninth.
got Roosters?
Then they got Penrith. Then they got.
Boys, I've already done the calculations.
Run the
I said
data.
them in our TikTok last week.
But while you look at that, I'll have a quick look at the all-out team. They for fantasy side of it, we got 2,090 now our overall rank, which is an improvement from round 22. I thought that was a fair big scores over the weekend, Mick. I think you can back me up. But we got 939, which isn't
Yeah.
obviously too bad
It's
at
not
this
bad
point
at
of
all.
the year. We had Cleary get a big 202 bomb, but we were let down by Brennan, Hands, and Manu, who got 15 and 9 respectfully. So
Shocking from
Manu was immensely disappointing. It's been a frustrating year for Manu, especially
It's
with
been a frustrating year for
positional
Roosters and
yeah,
Roosters supporters
every
in
single,
general.
I don't think a single Roosters player has been consistent all year.
Someone needs
The
to.
Butcher brothers have been
Bar
right.
Lindsay.
Yeah, even then, like
Pre-Origin, he wasn't doing much, but
Yeah.
he's come good now.
now we don't have Flats on the podcast this week. And Flats, we normally do we're going to do a weekly segment of what Flats' bold take after his Waz comments last weekend. But
we're loving the
we're loving the
comments.
input.
We're loving the
loving the comments.
loving the community love we're getting.
Any press is good press.
So this week, instead of the Flats bold take, we brought MPH from Wall Street to come on and give us his
Finance
bold
bro.
take of the week. So MPH, please take it away.
The Roosters only have 2 representative players in their team. Those being Lindsay Collins and Joey Manu. There you have it.
Lovely. So, what are you suggesting there?
They're shit.
What about the coach? Do you reckon he should go?
The coach can book his flight to China as far as I'm concerned.
Start learning Chinese, buddy.
The Shanghai Sharks.
Shanghai Sharks are calling.
Look, is there anything that Trent Robinson can do next year to improve this team?
Yeah, probably keep his fullback there.
Mate. What do you
Don't
mean?
drop your fullback to Rezzies.
Who's
You're
that,
speaking
mate?
gibberish now. You just said that.
Not fullback, halfback. Halfback. Don't drop your halfback to Rezzies. There you go.
Yeah.
The Sam Walker dropping is now looking like a bit of a mistake.
Mind you, Santa Smith, is Santa Smith his name?
Yeah.
He hasn't been half bad.
No, he hasn't.
MPH, what are your thoughts on their signings, off-season signings? You know, Brandon Smith, and the Trent Robinson's decisions as a coach to put Sawali in at centre. Is their downfall to blame on Robinson?
Well, not sure who else you can really pin it on there,
Yeah, I agree.
but I think Cheese has been utilised the wrong way.
Yep.
He is not a hooker. He is an edge forward.
He's an edge forward.
The delusion is alarming. Edge
I
forward.
thought you were going to say lock. Which I would have agreed with.
I wouldn't mind the cheese and the edge.
Yeah.
Hey, big Cheese running, hooping down the
You
edge.
might be onto something, actually.
Well, hey, I put it in this perspective. If I said 3 years ago that Nelson Asafa-Solomona was going to play on the edge, you'd be laughing.
Carrigan was playing on an edge on the weekend.
Oh,
Yeah.
he
Oh, mate.
scored.
This is why we call it the MPH Flats Bold Take, and there you have it, ladies and gents. That's
Bold take.
There's your bold
Don't drop
take
your
of the week.
fullback to Rezzies in that Teddy.
Wait,
Tight origin.
Correction on that. I meant to say halfback.
Yeah.
That's a great one, MPH. I'm sure that'll get plenty of views on the TikTok there from the
Rile
Wise
up
fans.
those Roosters fans.
Who's this finance pro?
Mate, there is no Roosters fans.
True.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's gonna
At Hainsey.
Mick, you got the TLT out, mate, for the week.
Yeah, I'll storm
Not
through it.
many surprises, and I know off the top of my head from doing the post that JDB and Val both been named, but they're at the judiciary tonight, so they'll most
Val
likely.
got named.
Yeah, so they most likely will be suspended, if I'm right.
Yes.
But they both named to play this week, depending on results. So Mick, take it away.
Thanks, Cooper. Cordless. The first game will be on Thursday, Roosters versus Manly. For Roosters, Egan Butcher has been ruled out with Drew Hutchinson named
He's
for
back.
change. Yeah,
Hutchison.
to the Roosters fans' delight.
Where's Hutcho playing?
14.
Nice.
Sam Walker nearing a return from injury. Boys, do you think he comes straight back into the team?
I think you
Absolutely.
rest him for the year
Why would they do that?
because they're not making the finals, are they?
Yeah, I guess, but
Shut him
he
down.
needs some
needs
confidence
reps. He
before
needs
next
reps,
year. 100%.
Yeah, well, they got a new preseason competition now.
And you start managing their assets better. He's an asset.
He is an asset.
Mate,
And
Joey Mane's going to request a trade very soon.
Yeah,
Wants to
Manu
play-
looks celeb.
He wants to play fullback. He said he's like, oh, I love playing fullback.
where does he go play
Love playing-
fullback?
Red
And
V.
he's- Yeah, Red V.
We'll do a trade. They get Sloan,
Yeah.
we get Joey Manu. Who says no?
Who says no?
Red V.
Anywhere
Manly.
but the Roosters.
Benny Turbo's back, but that's about it. Sean Kepi dropping out. Poor
Oh.
Kepi.
Oh, he's really dropping in and out.
Next game is Titans Wars. The Titans,
Up
AJ
the Wars.
Brinson still at fullback. And Tino's still 1 week away from returning.
Good win for
to
the Wires
lineup.
on the weekend. Got the 2 points.
The Titans and the Wars.
No, just the Wires. I got the 2 points from the bye.
Oh yeah, they were
Yeah,
really good.
really good team.
Actually, I thought they were overrated on the weekend though. for the Wars, nothing really to note for the Wars. Next game is Penrith Storm. That's a cracker. Tago is named in the reserve, so it could be a late inclusion. I'm sure a lot of people held him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go on a limb here. I think the Penrith Panthers smacked the Storm this week.
You're going to go out on a limb and say the Panthers are going to smack someone.
No, but it's the Storm.
Yeah,
yeah.
Storm looking good too.
Penrith
Something
are
about the
just-
Storm, just like they obviously had a great win against Parramatta, but last few years, like they've
Yeah, I
been
just
in
don't
and
see
around
it.
the top 5, but I just don't see them
Also,
winning.
I
on
don't see it
Storm,
either.
They need
Pap's
Paps.
playing Q Cup this week for
He
the Falcons, I believe.
Yeah.
He's-
One
he-
thing you want to see out of Pap is his work rate used to be so special, like taking tough carries out of his own line.
I don't think.
I just hope he doesn't come like a finesse sort of
I think.
sort of fullback.
I think he will.
It's one to watch.
He needs to go see Fabry.
Yeah, he needs to. I don't know. Peachy will miss 2 games. So Zachy Hosking is in at centre. How do you reckon that will go, boys?
Well, the winger will finally get the pill now.
Yeah, true.
I think he'll get subbed out late for Tager. But,
Yeah,
If he does play, he'll do his job.
Yeah, he'll do his
He's
job.
dependent.
I rate him. Rate him highly. He's better than Jordan Ricky.
Take whoever's on the Hoskins outside for a try now.
Yeah. For the Storm, Nas is back into the starting lineup. There was a bit of speculation about his finger and when he'd be back. I'm sure a lot of people held him, but to be honest, he's still on the edge. It's definitely one to watch how he'll go and how his minutes are there, but you know, I'd still maybe sell him for like a genuine gun. Cowboys, Broncos.
Jesse Arthur's returns.
Val Holmes. I think that's going to be revealed tonight.
yeah,
Him
I
at the
don't think he'll
judiciary.
get off. I think it's going to be at least 2 weeks.
Who
for
was
that.
the high shot on?
Can't remember off the top of my head.
Because he's got a couple.
It was,
happened week 4, didn't it?
It was Jaden Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lukey is also back on the bench. And Cohen Hess on the edge.
So who's playing? Val's been named at centre.
Yeah, Val has been named. I'm
Who's-
not sure who would come in, to be honest. Brendan Elliott.
So, sorry to just cut in there, Mick. Jack DeBellon, grade 2 charge has been upheld, so he'll miss 4 games.
Sheesh.
So
Sell.
he's now
That really
sell.
hurts the Red V's chances this season.
Yeah.
He's probably been our best player.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So, going off that news, JDB has come out of the judiciary, so Val's probably just gone in. So, by the time this is up, I'm sure we'll know.
Yep. Jesse Arthurs is back. Pierre Coure is back. That's about it.
Who's dropping out for Piakura?
Keenan Pelagia goes to the bench and Xavier Wilson to the reserves.
Oh, I don't like that.
You rate Pelagia?
No, I rate Willison.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
pretty
he
good, yeah.
looks good,
I think Pierre Coure is a good player, though.
He is. I
Piakura's good.
like Willison over Palacia.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah.
Dolphins, Knights, next game. I don't know if I'm reading this right, but it says Cody Nicarima is playing centre.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
mate,
right.
the bloke plays everywhere.
He's
True-
quite
he's
a
a
true
utility.
He's a true utility.
It's like when Jakey Granville played fullback for the...
Bennett's watched Damien Cook play centre in Origin gone, hang on, I got an idea.
Bennett's finally
This is-
regained some of his
Credibility.
intelligence and credibility and put Hammer back at fullback.
Milford at
Yeah.
5'8". Lemueli is a sideline, but he has been named with that head knock, so it's still probably hold. No changes for the Knights. Next game is Rabbitohs Sharks.
Tracy
Nothing
fullback.
really for Rabbitohs. Yeah, that's the big news. Connor Tracy goes to fullback with Ronaldo returning to the wing.
Yeah. And that Jesse Colohan, is it? Colohan?
Yep, he
He's
is
back
also
as well.
back on the bench. See Dan Atkinson. We've watched him a fair bit throughout his young career.
Is he reserves
I
or is he
think
on the bench now?
he's in the reserves. I don't know why he hasn't been given a go at fullback there instead of Tracy.
That's a
he's gun.
fair shout. Yeah, he's not bad.
He's a great player. Parramatta Eels versus Dragons is going to be a thumping. Actually, Red V are pretty good against Manly, to be fair. Dylan Brown is back, though.
Beat the case.
D-bags.
I don't think he beat it.
naughty boy.
Bad boy.
Brendan Hands has dropped out of the 17 with Joey Lussick preferred as the starting number 9. That's huge. While Waka Blake has been replaced by
Tell you what.
Lemu...
He has a-
by Isaac.
Waka Blake's defense is in.
Lumi.
It's
Waka Blake is
exposed.
awful,
Yeah,
respectfully.
Jesus.
Fantasy-wise.
And
And-
IRL.
Yeah. Rumu Greg is finally back from injury. He's a gun.
Yeah, he gets stuck in there.
Yeah, but it depends what his haircut is.
Yeah, that's true. So
It's like
JDB ruled out for 4 games, like Cooper said. So Couchman's probably going to be the likely replacement. Good to see how he goes starting. Canberra Tigers the next game.
Just wrapping her at fullback pretty much. That's about it.
Yeah, that's
That
about
one.
it. Tigers.
Blore and
That's-
Stefano out.
Yeah, that's about it though. Nothing really fantasy relevant. Will Smith moves into the starting lineup.
Willie Smith.
That's got to be
King.
the weirdest weirdest halves pairing: Dane Laurie, Luke Brooks, with Will Smith.
It's gonna be an interesting fixture.
We got a few Q&A questions here as well, and it's all about DeBellin. So is DeBellin all clear this week? What's to go with DeBellin? So 4 weeks for him now.
Yeah, hope you've been listening.
And any news on Tago? Have held him last 2 weeks.
How likely do we think he
Tungo.
plays? Do you reckon unlikely?
I think it's likely.
I'm leaning towards unlikely.
I'm leaning towards unlucky. Like, if they lose to against the Storm, like, yeah, that's a shame. But I still think they're going to be.
They need to keep Tunga.
Yeah,
Do you
like
think
they're thinking long term.
Do you think they're going all out for the minor premiership?
I don't think
I
they
don't
really
think they give a
care.
shit, to be honest.
I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably get it anyway. Like, we'll come close.
It's
Anyway.
a big points differential.
Cooper raised a good. Just quickly, Cooper raised a good point in one of the all-out posts. Are Penrith the best team we've seen in the last 30 years, 20 years?
Well, the only other team I can think of was the Roosters when they won back-to-back, but these Panthers are way better than them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Broncos around the
Maybe
90s.
Storm, but they had the salary cap breach, so you can't really count them.
Yeah,
They're
Depends
celebrating. They're celebrating those
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
premierships.
It's like a...
it's tough because
bit
like
of a
the
grey
players
area.
still went out there and won.
they were still elite, yeah.
And like, if you get rid of, a few of the salary cap stuff, they still had
Yeah.
easily the best.
And other
teams,
teams
so
have
it's like-
broken the salary cap.
And
before,
no
so
other
cool.
team technically won it.
Yeah,
I think
like
it's
they
a-
beat Parramatta.
I think it's an interesting debate, to be honest, because if you're talking about team success, Penrith by far are like 100% the best team we've seen.
You look at win percentage; it's off the charts.
But
Yeah.
like, if you compare a 2009 Storm team with a 2022 Penrith team,
Do you reckon the Storm team wins?
I think the Storm team wins.
I don't know.
Especially with
I reckon they're the best
GI.
team. I reckon they're the best team we've seen, like success-wise. But if it's the best team we've ever
Like,
seen
on
as a
paper sort
club,
of thing.
like on
Yeah.
paper, I don't think they are.
Yeah.
I think
Well-
a different team would beat them.
Well, then you have
Yeah.
to consider the Roosters as well, because that Roosters team was absolutely stacked.
Yeah.
That's
on
true.
paper.
Cooper
So-
Cronk, yeah.
But,
But
yeah.
if they win the premiership this year, they're the best team success on
absolutely,
success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Over
doubt.
multiple years.
How many-
I think the
How
Doggies
many
won the
teams have
most.
won 3 in a row? Is there any team ever won
I don't think
3 in a row?
anyone's won 3 in a row.
Maybe
Maybe back
I know
in
the
the
Red
day,
V
way
won like
back in
10
the
in a row.
day. But not in the NRL era.
Bubble rings.
Not in the NRL era.
Mickey Mouse
Yeah,
rings.
Mickey Mouse
And it
rings.
also depends when you're like cutting off like all the clubs, I guess. Like the Broncos in 92, 93 were elite. And then they were also elite in 97, 98.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got the Storm, I guess, and then
Look,
Dragons 2010.
Penrith will,
Dragons 2010.
Penrith will lose either Luai or Deadwoods, but it's not as if they're going to be that much worse. I think
Luai-
they got to keep Deadwoods.
Luai, what a big miss that's going to be.
Yeah, if they keep... The thing about Luai is he doesn't really suit any other team apart from Penrith, in my opinion.
I was
no one's going to be in
hearing-
a rush to buy him, really.
I was hearing reports that someone's offered one of the Blues players from this year, a massive contract. Penrith player who played for the Blues, a massive deal to go somewhere.
Well, it's probably Luai.
It'd probably be Luai.
Yeah, probably be lower. And while we're
Could be the
on
Dogs.
the topic of all the Instagram posts, I guess I may as well get
but-
a bit of an input on the other ones as well, just to wrap up the pod as well. How do we? I don't want to get too political with the rugby league, but the RLPA has it gone too far? What do we think?
I think it's gotten to a tipping point where a decision needs to be come to.
Yep, certainly.
Yeah.
I'll say this: the whole covering of the
That would be a fire clip, that one right there.
the whole covering of the NRL logo makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know what
to
they're
me.
trying to achieve there.
Right, it makes-
Everyone knows what you...
Yeah, it's
And
it's
PH,
very...
you're a hard-working... You're a hard-working 9-to-5 man. What are your thoughts on, the pay dispute? Like, do you think these NRL players are
Well, I think
maybe
they've
sooks?
got a fair few... They've got a fair point that, like, if you're an AFL player, you get health insurance for the rest of your life. But in the NRL, you only get it for 1 year after. And I think you can look at it for, like, what Wally Lewis came out 60 Minutes Sunday night, and he's got CTE. That's probably pretty good evidence for them, for their case as to what they're bargaining for, I
Yeah,
guess.
it is tough because
Not only that.
I'm looking at the minimum salary for an NRL player and it's 120 grand, which is more than what most people make in a year.
Yeah.
So-
That's true.
But then again, they're probably only making, if they're a fringe player,
Yeah,
they're only
if-
paying
yeah.
for 7 or 8 years on 120k.
Yeah. Look, if you're a fringe player, you'd definitely be like trying to make change. But
Sort of like the actors and writers
Yeah, it's very
strike.
similar
Like,
to that.
everyone's complaining, but that's... You're looking at the top echelon
Yeah.
actors who are getting millions. You got to think about the people who
Is
are...
the interview ban thing still happening?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't rate that.
Yeah.
Well, that's just
true.
all part of the process, man. And
They're not thinking about the fans in that respect.
No, not at
Like
all.
as a fan, like DCE for example, his 300th game. You just want to see like his post game reaction to 300 games,
But-
like a bit before interview, and we couldn't see that.
I think there's valid points from both sides of the
100%.
table.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, agreed. And the other one we posted today, and Mick and I were arguing about this with, well, not really a friend of the podcast at all, Christian Mills.
Enemy of the
Who?
podcast.
And it got some good traction here because I think it's a great topic to talk about. Sawali, a $1.6 million mistake, or is it a good buy from Rugby Australia?
Should have given the money to Matt Burton.
That would be a great.
It's not that it's a bad buy per se. It's more the fact that they're trying to solve their problems in one fell swoop when it's never going to happen like that. No one's
Yeah.
good enough to fix the Wallabies.
Look, it's yet to be seen, especially with his we've got to wait until he actually performs.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't perform well, you can't look at the big picture because people are looking at that and going, "Is he worth his money?"
Yeah. Well, the amount of pressure that's going to be on him as well. Like,
Exactly.
How do you
it's been
feel if
crazy.
you're one of the other Wallabies players and
Yeah.
you're in, 400, 500K a year and this 20-year-old
Yeah,
comes in on 1.6 million
Yeah.
and does jack all?
Yeah.
I think Millsy's argument was that you're bringing him over to fix the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Well, that's
But
my point.
there's no chance Millsy's not here to defend himself. I get that, but there's no chance one player in Sawali who doesn't really have an NRL image, doesn't have a community image either,
Yeah.
and
It's
Well, that's my point. You're bringing him in to be the face of rugby union, but there's so much risk to that because if he doesn't perform, then you've basically said this is the face of rugby union and he's not
Yeah.
playing well.
I
He's
saw
on
in,
1.6 million.
Yeah.
So
How is that
in-
going to have
in-
any positive effects?
Interesting take on SEN this morning. They were talking about that the Wallabies should throw 1.7, 1.8 at Cleary before the home World
Could
Cup.
see that, yeah.
That'd be a big move.
That'd be a big move.
Bring a lot of eyes to the game. Play him at 10.
I don't see Cleary ever leaving that rugby league. I feel like he's just rugby league true and true.
I can see Ponga, but he's going to be a Kiwi.
I
you
think,
wanna play
I
for
think
the
the
only
key man
problem.
is Matt Burton before he signed the contract with
I
the
think
Dogs.
the key
but
man's Cameron Murray.
Yeah, I know with Murray, but he's going to be a 12. He's going to be a solid 12.
Yeah, but then again, this isn't changing. Like the Wallabies' goal is to win World Cup, win the Bledisloe. How are we going to do that? Not by throwing millions of dollars at
At
NRL
NRL
players.
players.
Yeah, exactly, and that's half the problem. Our grassroots programs stink.
Yeah, stink.
Like we're trying to poach from NRL here. We're not trying to get
No,
the
But
talent.
Yeah,
they're
but
going,
no,
they're
but
going
that's-
about it the wrong way. They need to go from the bottom up, not the top down.
Yeah, I know. We're saying that, but at the same time, a lot of the league players originally played union.
Yeah.
That's the issue. It's the issue once they graduate from school.
They're already
going
getting
towards the money.
Yeah.
So-
And they're already getting offers from these league clubs while they're in school playing union.
You got to look at the Super Rugby product as well. The Super
Yeah.
Rugby product is
poor.
diabolical.
poor.
Especially even Kiwis are admitting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can see that with the success of the Warriors, Kiwi fans are like, wait, this is a way better brand
Yeah.
than watching the
It's
Crusaders and Chiefs
better to
dominate every
watch.
year. Yeah.
Just to wrap up the fantasy side of things, it's just this time of year now to either save trades or get those guns in. So make sure we're not buying anyone that's 300, 400K to play on your emergencies. We're just getting red dots that are 220K now, and we're just getting all those guns in. So your SJs, your Clearys, you got to get all them, your Drinkwaters.
Just wait
Hines,
for our
Laters.
buy, hold, sell post because what were our buys last week? Our buys were Garrick, McInnes, and Cam Murray. who
McInnes, what a
absolutely
buy.
gobbled.
Yeah.
So
McInnes is
Zach-
definitely
so
a
McInnes
Zach
is
buy.
Robb-
definitely a buy. So make sure we're all on him this week because he filled an absolute void last week. He was exceptional.
Yep. And you don't want to be, I know, obviously Cam Murray's still a buy, but you got to be looking at teams' runs home and if they have buys coming up. Like Rabbitohs is probably the exception because they have an easy run home. But I personally wouldn't be getting a Broncos player maybe in this week. I'd wait for their buy and then getting someone in.
Is back to McInnes. Is he locked into an 80-minute role? Is that going to be him for the rest of the season?
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so.
I think it is going to be him. And look, I think
Makes him a must buy.
Craig Fitzgibbon, if he just didn't see what he did on the weekend,
Oh, you sort of
and holy shit,
It's unbelievable.
He's someone who should have always been playing pretty big minutes, to be honest.
He is better than Blake
He's
Brayley.
better than Finucane.
Yeah.
He should have been playing either 13 or 9.
I saw some Courier Mail article from, what's his face, a couple of weeks ago, Buzz. And he reckons the keys for the Sharks to make the finals is Nico Hines and Dale. Come on, Buzz.
Yeah,
Come on.
Wait, Graham, he's the key to unlock this team.
no disrespect to these Sharks players. Some of them are quite overrated.
Yeah.
Wade Graham, Dale, Brayley.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
yeah,
Ronaldo's
Ronaldo.
defense
yeah.
is very
Heard his
suspect.
thumb's playing Fortnite.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we'll leave it there for this
I
week.
do have one more addition.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Righto, mate.
I have a multi for the All Out listeners this week.
Oh, there you go. We actually haven't had a multi for a while, so say it down the camera, man.
Take it away, Ern.
I am, as far to the best of our knowledge, the only person with a winning multi in All Out and
Not that I can
fantasy
recall
history.
anyone else, no.
Yeah.
The multi this week, listeners and viewers, is Wars 13 plus, Knights head-to-head over the Dolphins, Para and into Bailey Simonson to score. Then we take the Raiders head-to-head into Tomoko to score any time, and you can wrap that up for around $21. So
Look, that's great and all, but the Warriors aren't winning against the Titans.
up to Wars.
Warriors win easy 13
Hey,
points.
that'll leave it. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Thank you.